This story was told by the mother of a good friend of mine. She was born and raised in a small village, which was located in the middle of nowhere. In the 1950s, there weren't even any roads there. Communication with the mainland was provided by a helicopter. Once a week, it landed in a field outside the village, bringing the necessary goods to the village store and doing the work of a regular bus. The heroine of this story lived with her mother and grandmother at the time. Since there were no men in the house, the care of the family fell on the shoulders of the mother. She spent almost all her time in the fields and meadows of the collective farm, earning workdays to somehow feed her family. Well, the grandmother did the housework. When the girl grew up, she became the old woman's main assistant, doing feasible housework. One summer, in the middle of haymaking, the mother was working in the distant meadows, and the grandmother and granddaughter started a big wash. At that time, washing machines were unheard of. The laundry was soaked in large basins and then rubbed on ribbed boards. Then the washed clothes were taken to a small pond in the middle of the village pasture, where a special bridge was built for rinsing. By the way, there had long been unkind rumors about this pond in the village. By lunchtime, the laundry was washed and put in a wide basin with handles. The grandmother, tired after hard work, lay down to rest and asked her granddaughter to rinse the clean clothes. "Just don't go to the lake at noon," for some reason she warned, "otherwise, anything can happen there." However, the girl wanted to finish the work as soon as possible, so that later with a clearer conscience she could go play with the boys. But the 10-year-old girl couldn't drag a heavy basin to the lake alone, so she invited her friend to come along. The girls got to the lake quickly, having conveniently laid out the laundry on the bridge. They began to rinse it in the warm water, chatting cheerfully. And suddenly the girl's attention was drawn to a strange movement on the opposite bank. Of course, one could assume that someone was swimming, but everyone in the village knew that it was impossible to go into the water in that place. The entire bank there was overgrown with thick reeds, and the bottom was covered with thick, nasty mud. The girls tried for a long time to see what was happening on the opposite bank, but the sun was shining too brightly, the water sparkled and blinded their eyes. Still, for a moment it seemed to them that a woman with long hair flashed by the bushes, and then everything calmed down. The girls decided that they imagined it and got back to work. They took a large duvet cover made of coarse canvas out of the basin and lowered it into the water. My friend's mother still remembers what happened next with horror. The duvet cover immediately disappeared into the water and seemed to have grown to the bottom. It seemed as if someone was holding it under the water with terrible force. The girls grabbed the end of the duvet cover with both little hands, trying to pull it back. It was useless. The fabric could not be moved. Not understanding what was happening, the girls began to cry and beg with tears. "Let go of our duvet cover, please, we'll get it at home." Apparently, the creature that was at the bottom, most likely, it was a mermaid, took pity on the little ones. The duvet cover came off the bottom and was easily pulled out of the water. Not risking continuing the work, the girls quickly threw the unrinsed laundry into the basin and quickly left the pond. It turns out that it was not for nothing that the old-timers said that you can't go to the pond at noon.